Hey everyone, it's your friend Blighted Grounds, and in this video I'm going to discuss expeditions in Rollercoin, how they work, and the importance of using your hamster the correct way. Let's get into it. For those of you who are new to Rollercoin, this is a free play-to-earn crypto mining simulator, but you can actually earn real crypto. Now, expeditions are a fairly recent update to the game that gives your account another way of earning easy passive income without having to put much effort into it. I've been waiting a while to do this video because I couldn't afford a hamster before, but I was able to snag Birthday Bob several weeks ago from the latest voting event because he was super cheap, but unfortunately, he's really weak also. In fact, I think he's actually the weakest hamster so far compared to the others, and we'll get into why that matters here in a minute. I'm still learning too, but here's what I know so far after doing 2 weeks of expeditions. So there are currently 4 expeditions to choose from, all with different difficulties, durations, reward amount, and reward value. The longer the expedition is, the more experience your hamster will earn from it. And yes, you can level up your little vermin and make them stronger, but here's where it gets a little tricky. Like a lot of old RPGs I played as a kid, when you level up, you get a skill point. And I love this character building aspect in games, but it's a little ambiguous and unclear in Rollercoin. In RPGs, you typically build up your health, magic, attack, or defense, and how it works is usually pretty straightforward and obvious. But your hamsters in Rollercoin have 3 stats to build: health, strength, and luck. Here's how that works. So health and luck are the 2 most important and most tested attributes, with health probably being the top most valuable skill to build, because this is what determines Bob's survival rate on expeditions. And you do want to survive as many expeditions as you can. If you fail, not only do you miss out on the rest of your rewards and experience, but your hamster has a longer resting period afterwards too. Yeah, your hamsters have to rest for 24 hours after going on an expedition, but if your hamster fails, it has to rest for 48 hours instead of 24, which is also why it's so important not to send your hamster on an expedition with a high difficulty level if he's still a really low level hamster. Luckily, Bob's specialty is he has a normal cooldown rate of 24 hours instead of 48 if he fails, which is great because Bob fails a lot. Because I was expecting this, I started him out on the easiest expedition, Deep Forest. It has the lowest difficulty, which means he has the highest likelihood of completing it, plus the reward value and amount is barely below Land, which is double the difficulty level. One thing to keep in mind too is when leveling up, your extra experience does not carry over through the next level. Let's say Bob is level 2 and only needs 50 experience to reach level 3. That isn't much, so I'd send him on the shortest expedition to level him up. If I sent him on a 12-hour expedition instead of a 3-hour expedition and he earned 500 experience, he would hit level 3 and the other 450 experience that was left disappears. So most of your time is essentially wasted aside from getting your other rewards. Luck determines the value of your rewards that your hamster finds on expeditions, and strength, well, I haven't been able to find much information about this skill. I've read blogs, watched other YouTubers, read the Rollercoin site itself, and there's not much info, but from what I've gathered, no one is investing points into this skill. Everyone I've talked to is building up their health and luck and not giving any attention to strength. So I'm doing the same thing. Unfortunately, I didn't know this when I started building Bob and put my first few points into strength. Go figure. If you click on the expedition's details, you can see that there are requirements to receiving certain rewards, some having high strength requirements. As of now, this is the only practical use as far as I can tell for upgrading your strength points. If you have any more information about strength and how it plays into expeditions, let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear more about this. So how did my first 2 weeks of expeditions go, and was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. Bob was only about 15 RLT, and I earned that much in rewards and RLT combined within the first week, so I'm enjoying this addition to the game so far. He did die several times though, and some of the expeditions didn't earn much at all. But I was surprised with a 10 RLT reward from Deep Forest twice in my first 2 weeks, which was awesome. in addition to some parts that I sold on the marketplace too. The miners are all junk that aren't really worth selling, so I'll save them up for the next burning event, but rewards will get better as Bob becomes stronger. Unfortunately, I believe Bob can only be leveled up to 50, and there are no ways of currently resetting his stats if I choose the wrong one by mistake. If we look at the rewards for some of the expeditions, you can see that once you meet the criteria, you can actually start earning 1000 RLT per expedition, which is bonkers. Some of the miners are pretty hefty too, but Birthday Bob will never be able to get strong enough to earn those, so you'd have to purchase a better hamster for that. I suspect there will be another hamster available in the next month or two, so start saving now if you're planning on getting one. All in all, it quickly pays for itself and is probably the single most efficient and non-time consuming investment you can make on this game, especially if you're in it for the big, long haul. Now, I did attempt the Toosland expedition one time just to see if I could successfully pass it, and I did. Although I didn't get much RLT from this, I at least got a miner that I can put on my rack for a while, and I got a lot of experience, way more than Deep Forest. So it's good to know that Bob can at least survive Toosland. I'm gonna keep sending him on that expedition and build him up so we can try to do Snowlit Avenue and Dark Valleys next, which are the hardest expeditions. Thank you all for watching, and if you're new to Rollercoin and would like to join, use my link in the description box below and you'll receive 1000 Satoshis for free that you can use to buy miners with. Until next time, save that money.